Hello, everybody. As you can see, I am wearing the T-shirt for this momentous occasion in terms of celebrating of this classic franchise. I just finished watching Scream 6. It is 10:38 p.m. And let's go ahead and discuss what I thought about it. I have not watched the fifth film. Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. Watched the TV series that have been made recently, and this one in particular. It's a franchise that was started by the late great Wes Craven, who, if you're familiar with him, Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Elm Street, People Under the Stairs, Red Eye. He's made a lot of great films that have shaped and molded the horror genre as we speak today. This film, in particular, when I saw the trailer, I must admit that there was this strict and strong sense of hesitation on my part because how I was perceiving it was, where do you go in terms of this franchise? Exactly, how do you keep it fresh and exciting and intense without it becoming mundane and predictable? Having said that, the first 10 minutes of this film is by far some of the most intense, fresh, revitalizing, fresh perspective onto the horoscope that upon revelation, I was all in from that point on. And it never lets go. It intentionally it captivates you in a manner where it grabs you by the jugular vein and it does not let go. It is such a frantic pace that never it never seems boring. It is still very. There's a lot of carnage, blood, violence, profanity. Of course, there's fourth wall breaking material as well as popular culture references to classic horror films of the past. But it's never done, it's all incorporated in an intelligent, clever manner that doesn't take itself seriously while at the same time taking itself seriously. If that makes any sense. Uh, so what I plan to do actually is watch the rest of the films in order to refresh my memory on certain characters and plot points. That way, I could become that much more familiar and brush up on my knowledge. Because there were certain moments in the film where, considering that I have not watched the fifth one, certain things that happened I was not familiar with. So I was still able to I was able to piece the puzzle pieces together, but I still want to make sure that I'm fully well versed when it comes to discussing the overall storyline. The acting is by far, when you think about acting and just in general when it comes to certain horror films, of course you're not expecting Oscar worthy material. This, I must say, I was very surprised at how fresh, comedic, sincere, and the fact that all the actors and actresses involved had great chemistry with one another, that it felt genuine, it felt entertaining, and that's what it's all about for me, is the fact that if I could like and relate to these characters, that's what's more important to me. I don't really necessarily care about whatever it is that they believe in. I want to have characters that are fully developed in a manner where I can like or dislike them. And the fact that they're all likable is what makes it such a great horror film. You want all of them to survive. And that's what it's all about. So, and the fact that you have Courtney Cox returning into the role as well made it that much more interesting to me personally. Now, the elephant in the room, you don't have Deb Campbell, given that she was very much made public that she was involved in a contractual financial dispute with the studio. Now, the character of Sidney Prescott is, while her absence is felt and noticed, it doesn't necessarily feel that she had to be there. And the fact that she's not there didn't really take away from the film itself. If anything, it gave it that much more sense of a breath of fresh air. It allowed other characters to be developed. And so hopefully with the seventh film, if there is one, she'll be able to return and have maybe her, I guess, her redemption arc, or have her sense of closure of being able to live a happy life afterwards. Um, but as I said before, the first 10 minutes of this film is by far some of the most intense, original, surprising, and unexpected moments where it's just, wow, I was not expecting that. I am on board. I cannot wait to see how this unfolds. And from then on out, it is just carnage from beginning to end. And the fact that the directors, the director and the writers knew exactly how to keep the audience engaged. It wasn't so much about presenting a message or attempting to lecture anybody. Is we know what our audience wants with this franchise, and we're going to give it to them. It's all about the blood, it's all about the carnage, and it's about the popular culture references, along with the paying tribute to the horror films of the past. Given that's what Wes Craven did anyways, take all the classic films that horror that we were familiar with Friday the 13th, Psycho, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as well as implementing tropes that had us screaming at the television screen or at the big screen at the cinema, with the damsel in distress always falling down when the killer's after her, separating when they should stick together, answering the phone, having sex, just everything under the sun. And it's done in a manner where it's intelligent and clever and fun. And this is no different. It is absolutely, by far, in my opinion, the first one is a masterpiece. It's classic, great. I have to put this up there with the first Scream. It is that good. Granted, there are certain moments in the film where, for example, if someone gets stabbed multiple times, somehow or another they survive, and you're like, okay, seriously, how did this person survive that? You got stabbed 10 or 15 times and invited with, I'm sure at some point that knife probably hit a vital organ. How you managed to survive it, I'll never know. But it's a film. You learn to suspend your disbelief, and you're just there for the entertainment and the escapism. Scream 6 provides all that with great references, acting, writing, humor, unpredictable scares, just great kills as well. I mean, just by far some of the most brutal kills that I ever watched on the big screen. And that's saying a lot. This is coming from someone who has watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th, the Saw franchise, Final Destination, Cannibal Holocaust, the Green Inferno, Cabin Fever, all those classic and brutal horror films. That means a lot coming from someone like me who has. It's very hard to surprise me with gore just in general, but the fact that this managed to surprise me with the kills shows how, just from my perspective, shows how they managed to continue innovating the concept rather than relying so much on trying to relive gimmicks, if you will. But other than that, I'm gonna have to say Scream 6, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10, up there with the original Scream. That is my review of it. You have to watch it. Take your friends and family. Obviously, it is not for children, given the massive amounts of violence and blood and gore that's implemented in the film. Other than that, that's really what I have to say about that. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about it if you have watched it. And when you do, let me know on my Discord, on my Facebook, or YouTube channel what you thought. The links are below. Next review is going to be Champions, and after that, it'll be Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That's my review of Scream 6, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all remain safe and healthy. Take care, and peace out.